this month of August looks quite challenging. We have a Mercury retrograde kicking off from the beginning of August, which we were starting to feel towards the end of last month. There's a lot of energy of this happening throughout the beginning of the month and ramping up towards the middle and starting to slow down at the end of August. Mercury will be stationing retrograde in its home sign of Virgo and then transitioning back into Leo. So this month feels like it's a month of slowing down, of introspection, of looking at things from a different lens, of maybe overcoming some old challenges or old frustrating situations that are coming up for us. There could be secrets or things revealed to us that maybe we weren't prepared for or we have been waiting to hear. There's a lot of squares happening throughout the month of August. If you're not sure what a square is a challenging angle of 90 degrees that happens between two planets. So it is one of the most challenging angles and aspects to work with. We feel it on a very frustrating and very challenging energy. When a square happens in astrology, it's something that's coming up that we need to overcome. So this month of August to me feels like a month of overcoming challenges, roadblocks, setbacks. There's just a lot of need to take things slow, to revisit, to make sure if we've got travel plans, to plan things out and allow time for things to maybe go awry. If that's going to happen, we have time, and triple check anything we're sending off. This isn't the greatest month for signing new documents or agreements or anything of that nature, but life happens. You can't always plan ahead like that. So if it does come up for you, just make sure you double check everything, have another set of eyes look over everything, and just be cautious to what you are agreeing to throughout this month of August. Towards the end of the month, there is an interesting Aquarius full moon, which I will be diving into in more detail, but this does look quite challenging. There's a lot of explosive energy around the time of this full moon, and I would say we're going to see this quite literally on a collective level. Not only will we have a slightly challenging full moon, the day before the full moon we will have a Mercury retrograde cazimi happening in Leo. So there's something that's coming up for us to heal, work through, and move on from, and some downloads that are coming through to us that will be important for us for these next few months ahead. However, towards the end of the month, we will have Mercury stationing direct in Leo, and we will have Venus moving into her home sign of Libra. So we'll be finishing off the month of August on a positive, happier tone in a way. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alex. I'm an astrologer based in Aotearoa, New Zealand, and if you're new here, I make videos every month looking at the energies in the cosmos and how they may be impacting you based on your rising sign. I'm also starting a new series where I'm going to be diving into each of the planets within astrology, how these are showing up in your birth chart, and how you can use this information to start decoding your own personal strengths or areas that may need a little bit more work on, areas of challenge based on these planets and what these energies mean in your birth chart to help you start decoding your own personal birth chart. But in today's video, I'm going to be looking at the energies throughout August, how we will be feeling these energies on a collective level, and how they will be showing up for each of us based on our rising sign. Of course, you can always watch this video for your sun, moon, and rising to get a full picture of what this month has in store for you. So if you'd like to connect with me, check me out over on Instagram at venusinvirgo astrology. In my Instagram bio, I do have a link to my website where you can book a reading with me one-on-one if you would like to dive into your own personal placements on a deeper level. I offer readings that look at your natal chart placements, that look at any events that you might have coming up, some timing. We can look at different timing for events, things like that. And I also really enjoy looking at career-based astrology readings and also solar return readings where we look at your year ahead. So if you'd like to check that out, check out www.venusinvirgoastrology. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me, venusinvirgoastrology@gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe subscribe, and leave me a comment in the comment box if you found this video helpful, or if you have any transits that you're really not looking forward to or are starting to feel already. Let me know down in the comment box below. So without further ado, let's get into this month of August. The dates I will be referencing in this video are based on New Zealand Standard Time, so just make sure to take this into consideration when calculating them in for your own personal wheel located in the world, wherever you're watching this from. On the 2nd of August, we have Mars in Gemini, sextile the North Node in Aries, and trine the South Node in Libra. This energy of Mars trine the South Node, sextile the North Node is likely pushing us in the right direction that we need to take to start achieving or start finally taking action towards our goals. We might be more inclined to separate ourselves or remove ourselves from situations, people, or different streams of income, depending on where this is in your chart, of course, in order to achieve what we need to achieve. Something is positively being let go here, and something is positively pushing us in the right direction of where we need to take action and start achieving things that we want to get done. On the 3rd of August, we have Venus in Leo squaring Uranus in Taurus. This is an energy that we've had throughout last year, especially with Venus's extended stay in Leo. So just if you have a think back to around the time Venus was in Leo and did retrograde throughout the sign of Leo, it was around July to September of 2023. So have a think about back to when that was happening for you. Was there any certain energies that were coming up? Was there something that was coming up for you to work through, to move on from? There might be something unexpected happening here that we're needing to really look at or move on from. Some sort of challenge is coming up for us to work on, move on through, and pay attention to in some way. Then on the 4th of August, we have a new moon in Leo, and it is happening at 12 degrees and 34 minutes of Leo. Now, this new moon looks quite nice. It's like a little bit of a prelude to the full moon that we will be experiencing towards the end of this month. However, there is still a little bit of a challenging energy. It's just like around the time of the full moon, which we'll get into a little bit later on. But we do have some really nice trines and sextiles happening throughout this new moon in Leo. So with this new moon in Leo, we do still have Venus in Leo at the 29th anaretic degree. So there's this nice harmonious energy happening throughout the sign of Leo. So there's this really positive, warm energy I feel happening around the time of this new moon. Maybe planting the seeds of intention to really dive into creative projects, or spending time with our family or children, or maybe spending time with those that we just love and care about. Maybe we're wanting to take pride in our appearance and how we're presenting to the world in some way. This new moon, I feel like, is a focus on ourselves and how we can improve and pay attention to and invest in something to do with ourselves, potentially maybe even our physical appearance, depending on where this new moon happens for you on an individual level. But there's something to do with our aesthetics that we're wanting to maybe invest in, or finally take the leap and get creative in how we want to appear in the world in some way. Mercury is very much ready to station retrograde at the time of this new moon. So just keeping this in mind along with the rest of the month throughout August, but Mercury is just about to station retrograde in Virgo. It is squaring Uranus, so there is this challenging, we're maybe not ready to express ourselves in a way that feels good. We're maybe feeling stuck and stagnant and a little bit unsure of how we want to communicate maybe these changes that we're wanting to make, or maybe these new ideas that we're wanting to start planting the seeds of intuition and inspiration around. Something is stagnating us or triggering us around the time of this new moon. We also have Mars and Gemini conjoining Jupiter and Gemini. This won't come exact for a few more days, but there is this energy around the time of this new moon, and it is forming a square to Saturn retrograde in Pisces. So this is going to be a big energy around the time of the full moon. So we're starting to feel this energy building around the time of this new moon in Leo. We're starting to feel the square begin to form and begin to start getting stronger in its effect. So we're maybe feeling stuck, stagnant, held back, restricted internally more so than externally, because Saturn is retrograde. So we're likely feeling this energy. We're wanting to go big. We're wanting to make these grandeur ideas and plans and actions happen, take speed and take traction really quickly and get into action and put forth into the world in a really quick, big manner. We maybe wanting to go large. We maybe wanting to share our ideas. However, we're forced to stop, to stand still, to rethink. We're maybe feeling a bit wavering in our confidence around the time of this new moon, especially with Mercury square Uranus. We're likely feeling this like unsureness towards how we're wanting to get our ideas and points across. So this is starting to build around the time of this new moon, but we will be really feeling this energy, especially with the Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn square. This is going to be a challenge and tricky point throughout the month of August, really, and really amplifying in the full moon towards the end of the month. We do, however, have Mars and Jupiter forming a lovely sextile to this new moon. So we are feeling this drive to go big, to go grandeur, to really get our plans and ideas into motion. I feel like this is giving us that push that we're like, these are the new things that I'm wanting to start to put my energy into. I'm wanting to really look at, I'm wanting to really start growing this and making this happen, which might become visible to us around the full moon in Leo later in the year. So this is just something to note. Whatever we're planning around this time will likely take 6 months to sort of show up and see where this action that we're taking, where these grandeur things that we're wanting to manifest and make come to fruition, maybe starting to sort of come to fruition or sort of be more physically tangible towards the end of the year. Neptune retrograde in Pisces will also be forming a harmonious sextile to Uranus and Taurus around the time of this new moon. So we are maybe feeling like we're unexpectedly tapping into some creative energy or some ideas or just some insights to around something. Maybe something is, the veil is shifting for us in some way. We're able to maybe see through a creative fog that we might have had. We're able to have these maybe electric sparks of ideas, or maybe getting some unexpected intuitive downloads around the time of this new moon. Mars will still be sextiling the North Node and trining the South Node at the time of this new moon. So whatever energies we're really feeling potent and extreme for us around the 2nd of August is still carrying into this new moon energy. So all of this new moon does feel like it's a ripe time to really get clear and maybe really revisit goals that you're wanting to achieve and how you're really wanting to get there. Maybe not being afraid to go big or go home, or think big and think these grandeur ideas, maybe not take action on them just yet, especially with that Mercury ready to station retrograde. But it could be a really good time of just starting to plant the seeds of intuition that you want to see come to fruition towards the end of the year. Then on the 5th of August, we have Venus moving into Virgo. Venus is in her fall in Virgo. As someone with a native Venus in Virgo, I can very much tell you this. If you have your natal Venus in Virgo, this is your Venus return. So happy Venus return to all those natal Venus in Virgos out there. So Venus in Virgo is very much focused on acts of service as a love language. It's very much a putting others first and their needs first in a way is a way of showing that you love them, making sure other people's needs and wants are met in some way, just being someone that is there for them. This energy is a wonderful energy for getting clear and being organized in terms of your love life, maybe in terms of your finances, really getting clear and organized and just orderly when it comes to your finances and when it comes to your home, when it comes to your aesthetics. Maybe you're doing a bit of a cleanup in that way, but Venus is challenged to express herself in a free, positive, free-flowing energy in the sign of Virgo. So just to be conscious of this, especially with Mercury being retrograde on this day too. So Mercury will be stationing retrograde in Virgo at 4 degrees and 6 minutes. So this is another challenging energy. So just after the new moon, we do have these a little bit challenging energies coming through with Venus moving into Virgo and Mercury stationing retrograde in Virgo. So if you have any strong natal Virgo placements, you'll likely feel this energy quite intensely. On the 8th of August, we have the Sun in Leo sextiling Jupiter in Gemini. We were feeling this a little bit around the time of the new moon, but this is when it's coming exact. So we're having this really positive, over the top energy. So we might be feeling like we can express ourselves in a way that feels open and expansive, and just we want to go big and just show people that we care about them, or really invest in ourselves, or really dive into things that make us feel good. Really, it's a really personal transit. The Sun and Jupiter, we're likely feeling really just, it's like, it feels like a warm big hug in a certain way. We might be feeling really generous with our time and energy and wanting to invest that into others and those around us. Venus in Virgo will also be conjoining Mercury retrograde in Virgo. So again, as we were feeling around the 5th, we're likely feeling maybe a little bit triggered and just unable to really express ourselves and communicate with those around us. there's a little bit of challenge on the 8th. So we might be feeling like we're really wanting to show affection and really wanting to show others that we care about them and just go big or go home in our actions towards those we care about. But with Venus and Virgo conjoining Mercury in retrograde in Virgo, it's like, make sure we get clear and revisit and be really, really sure of how we're saying it and expressing it and communicating it across, because there's a high chance that others are likely going to take this the wrong way and not how we intended it. So just be cautious of that energy around the 8th, especially if you have any important like speeches or projects or things that you need to communicate or express with others. Be sure you have everything prepared, organized, revisited, clear, concise, and when you are expressing that, because there could be people that take things maybe the way you weren't intending. Then on the 15th of August, we have Mercury retrograde regressing back into Leo. So again, revisiting some themes that we might have had come up around July, that might have had that were maybe a little challenging or things we needed to work on. We're revisiting this with Mercury moving back into Leo again. With all retrogrades, and especially Mercury retrograde, this is a time of revisiting, reflection, and just slowing down and just crossing our T's and dotting our I's when it comes to important things or important documents or important purchases that we're wanting to make, especially being in the sign of Leo, we might be feeling more tempted to splurge than maybe usual. So just to be cautious of this energy. On the 15th, we also have Mars in Gemini conjoining Jupiter in Gemini. Exactly. So we've already been feeling this energy throughout the beginning of the month. We're really feeling this now. We're really feeling inspired. We're wanting to really take action on those things we had coming up for us around the time of the new moon. We're wanting to put those into place. We're wanting to go big or go home. We're wanting to just expand or express ourselves. Again, with anything that Jupiter touches, expands it. Mars is a challenging, malefic planet. So there could be a prone to more accidents, more anger than usual. So just be cautious around the time of the 15th, especially with Mercury moving back into the sign of Leo. There's a lot of challenging energy here. Just be very cautious this week, especially because going into the 16th, we have Mars in Gemini squaring Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Exactly. So there's, again, this challenge, this restriction, this explosive energy, this energy of just friction coming up this week for us. There's a lot of challenging energy this week. Then on the 18th, we have Mercury retrograde in Leo squaring Uranus in Taurus. Again, we already felt this energy around the time of the new moon. We're really feeling this now. So whatever is coming up at this time, we're needing to revisit it, we're needing to look at it. It's coming up for a good reason. We're needing to overcome it in order to move forward. So we're going to feel this now, and we're going to feel it again when Mercury stations direct and moves back into the sign of Virgo. So this energy that's coming up now isn't quite over just yet. So pay attention, take note of what's coming up. We're probably going to need to look at that and revisit it again. So just to be cautious of how you're expressing yourself this week, you're driving, how you're communicating with others, and just everyone around you, because even if you're not feeling this energy personally, the world, everyone is affected by this energy. So just be cautious when you're out and about in the world. Take it slow. Make sure that you think a little bit before you say anything, before you put anything out there, because the results could come out in a way that you're not really expecting or not really ideally wanting the outcome that could happen from that. So just a word of warning from the week of the 12th to the 18th, basically for the rest of the month, but just to be cautious of this energy. Then on the 19th, we have a Mercury cazimi. So we've talked about Mercury's cazimis before, but a Mercury cazimi is when Mercury is sitting at the seat of the sun within a 5-minute orb. So this is really intensified at that present point when it is in that 5-minute orb, but it is still active around the 5-degree orb. And an orb means a degree of conjunction. So when it's conjoined together in the chart, in the sky. So Mercury retrograde in Leo, it's obviously we're feeling that energy, we're feeling something we're needing to revisit. Whatever things are coming through to us for this Mercury cazimi are going to be highlighted and really intensified. We're maybe feeling these triggering ideas or situations or scenarios come up for us that we're like, I wasn't ready to go there just yet, and now I have to look at this again. Now I have to really pay attention to this. Pay attention to what's coming up, because this will likely be a theme that's going to be happening until Mercury moves out of its shadow period. So just really pay attention to this energy, how it's showing up for you, and take positive, grounded, practical action as best as possible, or just make a note mentally, write it down, take note of what's coming up right now, because this is likely going to be important for you to reflect on and to work on. Then on the 19th, we also have Venus in Virgo squaring Jupiter in Gemini. So this energy, although with Venus, it is a positive, it's with our both benefics. Venus is in her full. Jupiter is in Gemini, which is very expansive when it comes to our mind. Mercury is in retrograde in Leo. So there's a lot of energy that we're like looking at, that we're, something big is coming up for us. Some big challenge is potentially coming up to do with our relationships, to do with our finances, to do with our aesthetics, to do with whatever house Venus rules in our chart. And we'll look at that a little bit later on in the video. But this is a challenge. Like I was saying, with the sun conjoining Mercury, something's amplified here. Something is, we're needing to take these downloads and we're needing to understand what's coming through. We're needing to work on these challenges and we're needing to move on from it. Then also on the 19th, we have Venus in Virgo opposing Saturn retrograde in Pisces. So not only do we have a square, we have an opposition and a cazimi. So the 19th is a challenging electional day. So if you have anything important on the 19th of August, take it slow. Take some caution. Just understand things might come up on this day that could be needing to really be worked on or really be moved on from, that are for the greater good, are for your long-term success, but without challenge, there is no reward. So we are needing to work through these challenges to be rewarded later on, in terms of if that's just internal growth or if it's actually a situation that does get better because we took the time to really work on the issues that were coming up. Then on the 20th, we have not only the full moon, but we have the sun in Leo squaring Uranus and Taurus. Now, this energy is some maybe unexpected frustrations, some maybe downloads or unexpected events might be coming up for us that feel really personal, that we're really needing to again look at and work on. There's a lot of work happening throughout this month of August with all of these squares. There's some very challenging energy. And then on the 20th as well, we also have Jupiter and Gemini squaring Saturn retrograde in Pisces, and all of this energy is visible around the time of this full moon. So that again, this full moon energy is potent, it's triggering, it is intense. So the full moon will be happening at 27 degrees and 15 minutes of Aquarius. So at the time of this full moon, we have two potent and intense T-squares happening at the time of this full moon in Aquarius. So we have the sun in Leo, the moon in Aquarius, forming a T-square to Uranus and Taurus. We also have Venus in Virgo opposing Saturn retrograde in Pisces, both forming a T-square to Jupiter and Mars in Gemini. So there's a lot of potent and intense energy happening around the time of this full moon. This is not a full moon to play with. This is a full moon where we are feeling and potentially seeing some intense physical ramifications or energies that have been building throughout the month of August. We're likely seeing these come to fruition. This is not the same full moon that we had like last month, the full moon in Capricorn that felt triggering. This is super triggering. This full moon is intensified. The sun is in its home sign. Mercury is in retrograde, that is just coming out of cazimi with the sun. So Mercury is revisiting tricky energies that might have been coming up for us at the end of last month. Pluto is in retrograde and it's in the same sign as the moon. So we're feeling these maybe on a deep psychological level. There's some intense energy that's coming up for us to really like overcome, and like we can't hide from this energy anymore. It is coming up and it's not here to play. It is here to stand out. It is here to trigger us in a way that causes us to overcome what is coming up, to really look at maybe roadblocks or ways we've been holding ourselves back and actually getting to the root of the issue. Maybe we've not been ready to look at these challenging things that had been present in the background. They're not hiding anymore. They're here to be visible. They're here to show up and show out. It's not a time to play with these things that are coming up. It is a time to really get serious really get to the root of why we're feeling this way and maybe do some shadow work. This is an awesome full moon to do some shadow work, to do some clearing out of any energies that have really been triggering us or holding us back in some way. There is some positive energy around the time of this full moon. There's a couple of trines happening. So we do have a trine from Pluto retrograde in Aquarius to Uranus in Taurus. So this is a slight trine still. It is a mixed trine, because a mixed energy trine, because it is a trine happening between a earth sign and a air sign, because Pluto is about to move back into Capricorn. So we are feeling this in a mixed bag way. We might be feeling positively like we're having these unexpected downloads or insights, but they aren't feeling maybe the greatest, or they're feeling a little bit hard to handle or a little bit hard to understand, or we're not really sure why we're receiving this info. Like, what is this doing for us? Is this actually positive, or are we actually like, what is going on here? Then there is a trine happening with the Sun in Leo to Chiron in Aries. Now, Chiron is retrograde. So again, there's this triggering energy that's coming up for us to positively work on and move on from. I just see this full moon as a full moon for deep inner work, deep inner healing, and just maybe retreating away from the world in a way that we can look at this energy and can work with it, because it is going to be a really explosive time. So just to be cautious around the time of this full moon. As always, full moons are a time of completion, a time of release, a time of culmination. So whatever is coming up for culmination around the time of this full moon, it is time to let it go. It is time to move on. It's time to close that chapter and clear it out, do the work we need to do, because this will help us in moving forward and help us in the long term. So moving on to the 23rd of August, we have Venus in Virgo squaring Mars in Gemini. So again, we were already feeling this energy at the time of the full moon, but this is now intensified. It's at an exact degree, and it is feeling triggering, challenging, and stopping us and stagnating us in a way that we're wanting to move forward. We're wanting to show others that we care about them. We're wanting to really express ourselves, but a way that maybe isn't taken by others in a way that is positive. They might be feeling like we're nagging them. We might be feeling like we're like getting on their nerves in some way. Others might be getting on our nerves in some way. So this energy is really present, especially around the time of the full moon, and especially moving into the later of this week. Then on the 23rd of August, we have the sun moving into Virgo. So happy Virgo season to all of my Virgo suns out there. It is your time to shine. It is your time to have the focus on you for a change instead of being of service to others. So Virgo is very much about the sign of being of service to others. Even if others don't appreciate the work you do, Virgo, it is appreciated whether they say it or not. Virgo is the sign of, again, obviously being of service, but is very much focused on health, healing. It is likely that your Virgo friends are very in tune with either their own health, the health of others, just health in general. Health and well-being is something that is like comes naturally to them. Virgo is a grounded, practical, mutable earth sign ruled by Mercury. So your ruler is currently in retrograde, but Mercury is the ruler of Virgo. So Virgo is all about communicating, expressing themselves in a way that is very data and analytically driven. It is likely, if you have strong Virgo placements, you're someone who is likes getting to the detail. You like getting to the root of things. You like researching. You like really getting clear on the things and tasks you've been given and really doing them to the best of your abilities. You're someone who is very much inspired and motivated to be the best, do the best that you can, not necessarily be the best, but do the best that you can, and you prefer working behind the scenes. Virgo is not a showy sign. Virgo is a sign that is subtle but is noticed for doing their best, but also on the flip side, Virgo, you can be a little bit analytical and too hard on yourself. So just make sure to allow yourself grace and know that you're doing your best. It doesn't always have to be perfect. And then on the 24th of August, we have Mars in Gemini sextiling Mercury retrograde in Leo. So a little bit of a positive energy in the mix, but it is still including Mars, and Mercury is still retrograde. So there's, even though it's a positive, motivating, inspiring aspect, it's still a little challenging. So we might be feeling maybe inspired to communicate or to look at things that have come up for us that needed to be healed, moved on from. in a way that we're able to maybe look at this and take action on this internally, or express ourselves to remove the blocks and where how we need to express it with others. Something is coming up here that we wanted to take action on, but just to be cautious, Mercury is still in retrograde, so revisit that maybe a little later next month when you're really able to clearly form your ideas and opinions around what has come up for you around this time of this week and around the time of this full moon. Then on the 27th of August, we have Venus in Virgo trine Uranus in Taurus. Possibly one of the better days this month. So the 27th of August looks like quite a nice electional day, although a little challenging with Venus still in Virgo, but it is forming a trine to Uranus. So maybe receive some unexpected news or unexpected outcomes that you maybe weren't expecting. It is a positive transit. It's an unexpected transit though. So whatever things that might come up positively are likely unexpected, or just you're like, oh, didn't see it from that perspective, but now this makes sense. So something is coming up around that time on the 27th of August. And on the 29th of August, we have Mercury stationing direct at 21 degrees and 25 minutes of Leo. So Mercury is finally stationing direct. It will be in its shadow period for a couple more weeks, but we are out of that Mercury retrograde. I feel like that has been a time of intensity, a time of a lot of reflection, and a time of a lot of challenge. So we can all collectively breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief on the 29th of August. However, on the 29th of August, we do also have Venus and Virgo opposing Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So we may be feeling triggered and needing to balance some sort of insight, or something's coming through that we hadn't seen before, some sort of news or something is being revealed to us that we maybe didn't see it from that perspective. It could be to do with our finances, it could be to do with our relationships, it could be to do with just our sense of self in general, or just our aesthetics in general. It just could be something that we weren't expecting, or maybe we're feeling vulnerable and we're feeling like we're wanting to be vulnerable, or we're not able to be vulnerable. We're wanting to share our deepest inner feelings, or how we're really wanting to connect with someone on a deeper level, but we're not able to do that. We're not able to sort of get to where we want to be, to express or communicate that with that person or that part of ourselves. Something is coming up here that we're needing to tune into our creativity, trust divine timing, and just integrate this energy of wanting to be practical, but also being up in the ethers, up in the spiritual realm. There's something that's needing to be balanced here between these energies. It's like this earthly energy and this ethereal energy that we're needing to balance and integrate into our lives in some way. Then on the 30th of August, we have Venus moving into her home sign of Libra. So happy Venus return to all the Venus and Libras out there. This is a wonderful transit for Venus. It's going to be really positively received and is a nice breath of fresh air considering the past few weeks that we've had with Venus and Virgo. Then on the 30th, we also have Venus and Libra trining Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. I feel like whatever these challenges were that were coming up around the time of the full moon, we're maybe starting to feel a little bit of ease with that. We're maybe starting to feel a little bit of things are starting to lighten. Things are starting to maybe feel a little bit more positive. We're maybe starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel here with certain things, with certain situations. So all up, August is going to be a month of challenge, of restriction, of delay, of obstacles that we need to overcome. It is a very different month than we had last month in July. So strap in, buckle up, and just prepare for this bumpy ride ahead, and just know towards the end of the month things will start to smooth out, especially from the 29th and 30th onwards, and moving into September things are maybe going to start feeling a lot lighter for us. So in this next part of the video, I will be looking at each individual rising sign and where this energy of August will be happening for you. At the end of that, I will be also pulling a card for each individual rising sign from this Black Moon Astrology Oracle cards, which will help give us some more insight into what energies and astrology placements that might be of importance for you this month ahead. So for Aries and Aries rising, this energy of August will be happening throughout your 5th and 6th houses, with a little bit of emphasis on your 7th house towards the end of the month. The beginning of the month will be heavily focused around your 5th house of creative endeavors, of romantic partnerships or relationships relationships with your children, if you have children in your life, and relationships with your hobbies and interests. So this will be emphasized for you, especially around the new moon in Leo on the 4th of August. So this is a wonderful transit and a wonderful new moon for you to tap into any new creative endeavors or relationships that you want to call into your life. If there's any sort of ideas that you want to see come to fruition towards the end of the year, this is a wonderful time, a wonderful new moon to start planting those seeds of intuition. On the 5th of August, Venus will be moving into your Virgo 6th house, which is your house of work, your daily routines, acts of service, co-workers, working relationships, and your general health and well-being. With Venus transiting this house, it is, although Venus is in her fall, it is a positive transit in time for you, Aries rising. So you may have some deepened or different or emphasized connections with those within your workplace, with your work colleagues, or you may have some positive energy around your daily routines or even your health. You could find that you're able to form relationships with those that you're working with or with your subordinates easier. This is a positive time. If you're waiting for news on the job, there could be some positive news for you around the beginning of this month of August and throughout the month of August with Venus transiting this house for you. Mercury will be stationing retrograde in your 6th house, however, so this is a time to just make sure any work or important work documents or emails or things like that are sent out when you double, triple check them. And if you have any important conversations to do with your work colleagues or to do with your work in general, this is an interesting time for you. So just make sure any information that you receive is double, triple checked and you're not signing any important documents without having a second pair of eyes look over them, Aries rising. The Mercury Cazimi will be happening again in your 5th house of Leo, so there is some important downloads or information coming through to you to do with this area in your life. Pay attention to what is coming up, as this is probably a big key on what needs to be worked on or worked through around the time of the full moon. Now, the full moon will be happening in your 11th house of friendships, connections, hopes, dreams, and wishes. So something is coming to culmination here. Something is coming to a point where you can no longer ignore it. You can no longer hide from what is needing to be moved on and worked from. There is some challenging energy coming up here for you. There's some challenging energy coming up here to do with how you communicate and express yourselves, maybe even to do with your family or relatives or extended family or neighborhood. Something is coming up here that could be quite challenging and quite intensified around the time of this full moon. On the 23rd of August, the sun will be moving into your Virgo 6th house. So again, a real emphasis on your work and daily routines of your relationships with your co-workers and also your health. So your health could be a focus for you. You could be revisiting things that are no longer lighting you up, routines that are no longer lighting you up, Aries rising. So there could be some emphasis on maybe tuning into a new routine or health regime that you want to commit to over the next coming weeks with the sun transiting this house for you. It could be a good time to focus on things that are needing a little bit more cleaning up in your life, needing a little bit more organization, especially to do with your work, your daily routines, and your health. With Mars, your chart ruler, forming some intense angles to Saturn and conjoining Jupiter, you could be feeling like you want to go big or go home or communicate and express yourself in a way, but you may be feeling like you need to hold back or keep those ideas behind the scenes for now until they're really ready to come to fruition, really ready to be tangible within your life. So just be conscious of this energy. So if you're wanting to communicate or express yourself, maybe just wait till Mercury is out of that retrograde shadow period towards the end of September. Then there'll be a really positive time for you to really express yourself in a way that feels authentic and inspiring and lighting you up. On the 29th of August, Mercury will station direct in your Leo 5th house. So maybe this is the time where you're starting to maybe take action or put things or move things forward in a way for you that did come up for you around the time of that Mercury Cazimi. And lastly, on the 30th of August, Venus will be moving into your Libra 7th house. I love this energy for any one-to-one working relationships or contractual agreements in your life. If you're wanting to call in some new relationships or working clients, this is a wonderful energy for you. This might be a more positive time to really call those people in, to really get those contracts underway, especially with Mercury now stationed direct and moving out of that shadow period. Things are going to start moving forward for you, Aries rising, with this positive transit of Libra through your 7th house. It's a nice energy to really focus on your relationships and how you're communicating and expressing yourself in relationships, showing up in relationships that feel authentic to you, and really paying attention to how you feel in your relationships. Are they lighting you up and inspiring drain you? Or are you needing to allow time to balance the need to spend time on yourself and to spend time around those that you care about and those that you love and those that you want to invest time in? So pay attention to what's coming up with this Venus transiting your 7th house, which we will touch a bit more on throughout next month's video. So let's have a look at what the Oracle cards have in store for you, Aries and Aries rising. So the 7th house, this is the house we were just talking about. Venus is transiting your 7th house towards the end of the month when she moves into Libra. So this is going to be a big, important transit for you going into September. So pay attention to what comes up around the end of the month for you, Aries rising. But all up, this is a month where you're going to be focusing on your creative endeavors, your creative projects, your family, if you have any children or romantic partnerships. This will also be coming up for you around the time of the beginning of the month and moving towards the end of the month. And then also a big focus on your health or well-being, your daily routines, your co-workers. Something might be coming up here that you're needing to organize, clean up, and clear out. Just be careful of how you're expressing yourself this month. There could be a need to isolate or just wait until things start moving forward a little bit more, start moving out of this retrograde period. And then a focus on your 7th house and one-to-one agreements towards the end of the month. So for Taurus and Taurus rising, this energy of August will be happening throughout your 4th and 5th houses with a little bit of emphasis on your 6th house towards the end of the month. Your 4th house is going to be lit up at the beginning of the month, especially with this new moon happening in your 4th house of home, family, ancestors, and roots. So there could be an opportunity for you to really lean in and understand what it is that you're wanting to call into your life. Maybe you're wanting to call in a new home or more of a deeper connection with your family or more fun, more creative endeavors to do with your home and family life. So this is a wonderful new moon to invest in that or to start planting those seeds of intuition around that area in your life. Then on the 5th of August, Venus will be moving into your Virgo 5th house. Venus is in her joy in your 5th house, so she does really enjoy being here. Although being in Virgo, it is still a strong house placement for her based on your rising sign of Taurus. Being your chart ruler, she does enjoy being in the 5th house. So Venus is in Virgo here for you, so this is a little challenging with her being in her fall. However, this is a wonderful time to maybe get creative and get organized when it comes to your hobbies or interests, or even to do with your love life. Maybe it's time to clean up and organize your love life in some way for you, Taurus rising. So just really focusing on your hobbies. If you have any children, this could be to do with focusing on your connection with your children, being there for them in a way that feels really being of service to them in some way, and also a service to yourself and lighting you both up in a creative way. And then also a focus on what lights you up and what brings you joy. Mercury will be stationing retrograde in your Virgo 5th house on the 5th of August. So this is something to just be conscious of, and we'll be moving back into your 4th house of Leo. So there could be whatever topics and themes are coming up for you right now. This could be of interest to you and could be of big focus for you throughout the month of August. So pay attention to what is coming up. It will be revisited when Mercury does move back into your 5th house of Virgo towards the end of the month and into September. Then on the 19th of August, Mercury will be conjoining the Sun in your Leo 4th house. So there could be some news or information or downloads to do with your home and family life that need your attention, that need to be looked at and taken serious in a way, that need to maybe some obstacles or challenges need to be overcome. Something is coming up to do with your home and family life around the 19th. Then on the 20th of August, there is a full moon happening in your Leo 4th house and in your Aquarius 10th house. So maybe something to do with your home, family life, and to do with your work and public achievements and projects that you've been putting out into the world. Something is coming to fruition. Something is needing balancing and integration to do with your hidden life and your public life. Something is coming up here for you to balance and integrate in some way. Could be quite challenging, could be quite triggering, especially to do with your sense of self, your physical self, or even to do with your hopes, dreams, and wishes. Something is coming up here that could be quite challenging to express. There could be some challenges to do with your relationship with your finances, or your value system is challenged in some way. So just to be conscious, this full moon is a triggering full moon. So this could be quite a publicly triggering, or just to do with your work triggering in some way. Then on the 23rd of August, the Sun will be moving into your 5th house of Virgo. So there could be an emphasis on, again, your children, your family, your relationships, romantic partnerships. There could be an emphasis on your hobbies, something to do that lights you up, makes you feel inspired, and is paying attention to not only the needs of others and those around you, but also the needs of yourself. paying attention to what comes up around this time and really leaning in and allowing yourself to invest in things that light you up and help you feel inspired and creative. Then on the 29th of August, Mercury will be finally stationing direct in your Leo fourth house. So there could be some things that are kind of wrapping up to do with your home and family life or are ready to finally be put into action or move forward on towards the end of the month. On the 30th of August, Venus will move into your Libra sixth house. This is a wonderful transit for you, specifically Taurus rising with Venus being your chart ruler, for any work or projects or work colleagues, or even to do with your health that could do with some positive attention, that could do with some positive energy right now. So towards the end of the month, things are going to start looking up and feeling a lot better, especially on the work front. So let's have a look at what the oracle cards have in store for you, Taurus rising. Taurus literally came up. First house Taurus I have. So for you, Taurus rising, with the Taurus coming up for you, obviously we were talking about Venus, your chart ruler, being of importance for you and the transits that she's going through this month, being throughout your fourth and into your fifth house, her house of joy. So this is a focus on your sense of self. Again, tuning into what lights you up, what makes you feel inspired, and allowing yourself to invest in that area of life for you, especially when Venus moves into your Virgo fifth house on the 5th of August. So all up for you, Taurus rising. This is going to be a month of focusing on home and family, your children, if you have any, or what lights you up, what makes you feel inspired, your romantic partnerships, also a focus on to do with your work and daily routines and health towards the end of the month. And then at the time of the full moon, there will be a focus on your balance between your home and family life, your work life, finding that balance, and maybe some challenging ways that you need to express or communicate yourself, to do with your hopes, dreams, and wishes, and just needing to maybe separate yourself from ideals that are no longer working for you, but taking that action towards the later end of the month when Mercury stations direct. So for Gemini and Gemini rising, this energy of August will be happening throughout your third, fourth, and also your fifth house. The beginning of the month will be a heavy focus on your third house of communication, local travel, extended family, your siblings, your neighborhood, and how you express yourself, even some general study if you are thinking of taking on any study. This might be something of interest for you around the time of the new moon, which will be happening in your third house of Leo. So the new moon here will be a wonderful time to plant the seeds of intuition to do with any study that you want to embark on, maybe taking on some local travel. If there's any ideas that are coming up through for you around the time of this new moon to do with how you communicate or express yourself, or even if you're wanting to put your seeds of intention out there to call in some new study, to call in some new opportunities to travel, to call in further connections with your family, with your siblings. That creative spark is going to be inspiring for you around the time of this new moon in Leo happening in your third house. Then on the 5th of August, Venus will move into your fourth house of home, family, your roots, your ancestors. So there could be some positive energy to do with your home and family life. If this has been something that has been sort of sparking and coming up for you earlier in the month, especially with Mercury currently in your fourth house of Virgo. So there could be some nice energy to do with your home and family life. Maybe you're able to invest in your home a bit more. You may be wanting to reorganize or declutter your home space. This could be of interest to you around the time of the 5th, while this Venus is transiting your fourth house of Virgo. On the 5th, Mercury will also station retrograde in your fourth house of Virgo. So again, a wonderful time and opportunity to clean up, reorganize, and declutter your home and just really get to the root of any issues to do with any of your home and family life. Then on the 15th, Mercury will regress back into your Leo third house. So just be cautious about any communications that you're putting out there, any ideas or travel. This could be a little bit of a trickier energy to work with because you're looking at revisiting anything that you might have put into action around the end or middle of last month. So things might be coming back up to the surface for you to revisit, to do with your local community, your family, or any local travel or study that you might be thinking of doing. Then on the 19th of August, Mercury will conjoin the Sun and form a cazimi in your Leo third house. So this is likely really emphasizing and bringing to the surface these plans or ideas or things that you've been working on, projects that you've been working on, anything that was sort of coming up around the time of the new moon. You might have some sparks or downloads to do with that. So there is something coming up here around the 19th of August. On the 20th of August, the full moon will be happening in your Leo third house and Aquarius ninth house, really emphasizing this need to merge both your lower mind and the higher mind. That's the third and the ninth houses. So balancing this maybe need and quest for knowledge or study, or just deepening your connection with the knowledge that you already have, or the studies maybe that you've already done. Maybe there's something here to do with travel or wanting to go overseas. Something is coming to a culmination here. Maybe you've been planning a trip and it's finally coming to fruition, or you're finally getting some ideas that's starting to progress forward. Something that you've been working on to do with these houses, to do with these parts of your life, is really coming to a head around the time of this full moon. It might be a little tricky in that there might be some endings, some unexpected endings or challenges that could come up around the time of this full moon. It is a tricky full moon, as we talked about earlier in the video. So just be prepared and proceed with caution to whatever is coming up. There's a lot of challenging energy. However, this will sort of mitigate and pass and die down towards the end of the month. Then on the 23rd of August, the Sun will be moving into your Virgo fourth house. So again, emphasizing this need to connect with your family, this need to connect with your home space, really clean up and clear out anything that is no longer working for you within your home. A wonderful opportunity to declutter and clear out anything that's been stuck and stagnant, and just anything that's cluttering or holding on to old stagnant energy. This is a wonderful energy to really purge this space and to create a new fresh environment for you and your family. Then on the 29th of August, Mercury will station direct in your Leo third house, bringing to a close, bringing to an end any of those challenging communications or situations that you'd had to be working through earlier in the month. Likely you're able to feel like you can move forward, start working on these plans and putting things into action. Then on the 30th of August, Venus will move into your Libra fifth house. This is a lovely energy. Venus loves being in the fifth house. It will conjoin the South Node in your fifth house of Libra. So this could be a little bit challenging, but Venus is in her home sign. She's at her strength again, and she's really loving being in that fifth house of yours. So this is a wonderful opportunity to really connect with your hobbies, to invest in yourself, to invest in your family and children, to invest in maybe relationships that, if you've got any new romantic relationships that are coming up or bubbling up to the surface, this is a wonderful opportunity to just indulge in those and indulge in things that make you feel luxurious and make you feel pampered, and just really invest time and energy into yourself and what brings you joy. So let's have a look at what the Oracle cards have in store for you, Gemini and Gemini rising. The South Node popped right out there. So we were literally just talking about in your Libra fifth house. So the South Node, life's gifts. So the South Node, the collective South Node, is currently in your Libra fifth house. So what parts of your life, what things that are no longer bringing you joy, things that are no longer lighting you up, where can you let go of these and shift these and move these out of your life? Have a look at where your natal South Node is as well, where that sits in your chart. This could give you an indication of other areas in life that you are really good at, but now it's time to challenge yourself and lean into areas that maybe bring you a little bit of anxiety, or bring you a little bit of feeling like, oh, I've not done that before. That's a new energy to me. This is a energy which is balancing the South Node and the North Node, but it's looking at the South Node in particular. Where can you let go and start to move away from things in this area of your life that are no longer serving you? So have a look at that. That's a message for you this month in Gemini rising. So all up, this month is going to be really heavily focused on how you communicate and express yourself. Any ideas, study, or local travel may be needing to be revisited or replanned, or something's needing to be reshuffled here. There's a lot of focus on home and family and clearing out and decluttering your home space, and then a focus on readjusting what brings you joy and creativity towards the end of the month. So for Cancer and Cancer rising, this energy energy of August will be happening throughout your second, third, and fourth houses. At the beginning of the month, there's going to be a large focus on your second house of values, of your sense and connection with money, of your finances, of your streams of income. This is going to be a big focus for you, especially around the time of the new moon in Leo on the 4th of August. So this is a wonderful new moon to plant the seeds of intuition towards calling in any new streams of income, to really healing your connection with your finances. If there's any triggers that are coming up towards your values, maybe there's some new value systems that you need to investigate or just sort of put more time and energy into. You're likely feeling a creative spark to do with how you might finance sort of things that bring you joy or things that light you up in some way. Maybe you're feeling creative in terms of bringing more streams of income through. This is a wonderful new moon to plant the seeds of intuition around that area of your life. Then on the 5th of August, Venus will move into your Virgo third house. This is a nice energy for communicating and expressing yourself in a way that you're able to look at the details of a situation and really get to the nitty-gritty, really clear out and clean up any, maybe if you're doing any study, this is a wonderful opportunity for doing research, cleaning up any sort of data that you've put together, really getting to the root of any sort of issues that you might have had to do with your study, or if you're planning any travel, this is a nice energy to really look at the details and really plan that out in a way that makes you feel really like things are aligned for you. Then also on the 5th, Mercury will station retrograde in your Virgo third house. So along with this energy of Venus being a really positive energy, although she is at her full in Virgo, it is still a positive energy. There is this bit of a challenging energy with Mercury stationing retrograde. Mercury will move back into your Leo second house on the 15th of August. So just to be cautious, any communication or travel or looking at any study or anything that especially to do with your value systems, any maybe streams of income or any purchases, there may be something coming back up to the surface with Mercury regressing back into your second house. So if you're making any big purchases or investing any money, just make sure you double, triple check everything and have a third or fourth set of eyes look over everything, every detail. So just to be cautious of this month. Then on the 19th of August, Mercury will conjoin the Sun and form a cazimi in your Leo second house. I love this energy for really investing and sort of thinking big or getting ideas and brainstorming around creating new streams of income for yourself, looking at your material possessions and really thinking, does this spark joy for me anymore? And if not, can I let this go? Can I create space and room for new things to come into my life? Especially with this retrograde energy, it's all about the rethinking, revisiting, and decluttering areas in our life. Then on the 20th of August, there will be a full moon happening in your second house and also your 8th house. So really emphasizing the money houses for you, Cancer rising. So there's something coming up that needs to be purged for you. There is some sort of job, stream of income, or some sort of financial roadblock that might be holding you back. Maybe there's a culmination point coming. You've maybe paid off a loan or a debt of some kind. Maybe you're receiving this payout that you've been waiting for. Something is coming up for you around the 20th of August to do with your financial streams of income or just finances in general, and also your value systems and intimacy around money. Maybe you've been having working on some blockages, some psychological blockages that you've been having around your finances. This is a time where you can work through that, or it's coming to a head. You're finally realizing what you need to heal and move on from. There is something unexpected or unexpected change or roadblock coming up to do with your friends, your relationships, your circles, your circles of friendships, or your networking, or some hopes and dreams and wishes that are maybe feeling a bit outdated, that are maybe keeping you stuck and stagnant in some way around the time of this full moon. So just to be cautious of that. There's a lot of challenging energy around the time of this full moon. So just to be aware of this and know that it will pass and get a lot easier towards the end of the month, but there could be some quite dramatic things that might come up for you around the time of this full moon. Then on the 23rd of August, the Sun will move into your Virgo third house, again really emphasizing any travel or study that you might have going on. This is a wonderful energy to really invest in that and just to really sort of put yourself out there and put your communications out there, put your projects that you've been working on, put them out into the world, and just really cast your eye over any data or details that you've really been working on, or even just really connecting with your siblings, with your local local neighborhood or even your extended family. This could be a time where you're feeling like you're wanting to reminisce and to connect with them a bit more. Then on the 29th of August, Mercury will station direct finally in your Leo second house. So again, any sort of revisiting of maybe some financial things maybe come to an end, will come to a close. You can start to move forward on those, with Mercury now direct in your second house, moving back into your third house later next month. So there is a nice energy of progressing forward now. We've had this pullback and now we're ready to go forward. So this is this nice energy for you moving forward. And then on the 30th of August, Venus will move into your Libra fourth house, which is a lovely transit for Venus. It loves being in its home sign. So this is a wonderful energy for investing time and energy into your family and home life, maybe redecorating the home space. Perfect for you, Cancer rising. So this really lovely energy for really investing and spending time with family and friends and those that make you feel safe and secure, and just a wonderful transit for you, Cancer rising. So let's have a look at what the oracle cards have in store for you. This one came out straight away, third house messages, which is what we were literally just talking about. So the third house for you is going to be a house of interest this month. So the third house is all about communication, how you express yourself. For you, it's ruled by Mercury, so it is, again, really emphasize that it's for really communicating and expressing yourself, especially with Mercury being retrograde a lot of this month. So again, it's revisiting how you communicate and express, how you any study, any travel, things like that for you that will be prominent for you this month. Maybe there's some things that come into a close or coming to a head, coming to an end. Mercury does rule your 12th house as well, so there might be some ending up and closing up of any study or travel that you have been working towards. So all up for you this month, Cancer rising, is going to be a big focus on your financial houses. Some financial issues, or something is coming to an end, something coming to a close, something is being revisited this month for you. Communication, your third house, is going to be of big focus for you this month. How you communicate and express yourself, any study or local travel or any extended family, friends might be of interest. And then also focus on your family towards the end of the month. For Leo and Leo rising, this energy of August will be focused on your first house, your second house, and your third house. Towards the beginning of the month, there will be a big focus on your sense of self. This new moon in Leo on the 4th of August is going to be one of that is going to be of great importance to you. Maybe you're feeling like you need to plant the seeds of intuition to step into this new phase of life that you're going through, to step into this new version of yourself. Something is coming up here for you to really invest and really spend time in doing things that light you up and help you feel creative and inspired and passionate to live life the way you want to be living it, not on anyone else's terms, on your terms. This is very much a month of really looking at what makes you happy and brings you joy. So this is a wonderful new moon to plant those seeds of intuition around that area in your life. What makes you happy and how can you bring more of that into your life? Then on the 5th of August, Venus will move into your Virgo second house. This is a nice energy to really clean up your finances if you've been going a bit overboard or maybe spending too much. This is an energy of where you can sort of start to pull that back, start to pull some of that in, and just really sort of claw back maybe any things that have been a little bit tricky over the last few months. But with Venus is in her fall in Virgo, so it might be a little bit of a challenging energy. Maybe some unexpected bills or finances that come up, so just to be cautious of this. Mercury will also station direct on the 5th of August, so Mercury ruling your second house will really emphasize this need to revisit your finances, need to revisit things that maybe you've overspent on, or just looking at your value system. Again, looking at what brings you joy. Are you aligning yourself with your values, or have you allowed yourself to maybe put your values aside and let other people's values kind of take the reins a bit? So really looking at this area in your life and how you can apply more of your values, these new values, or stepping into this new energy for you. So then on the 15th, Mercury will regress back into your first house. So again, this big emphasis on revisiting what brings you joy, what lights you up, what is it that is making you passionate, what are your values, really looking at this and really applying this, because then on the 19th of August, Mercury will conjoin the Sun in your first house, forming a cazimi. You might feel some really creative insights or creative energies or creative downloads that are coming through to you that you're like, yep, I want to put that into play, I want to put that into action, I need to get this going. You might feel like you're really ready to start putting those plans into motion and plans into action. But just to be cautious, Mercury's still retrograde. So until Mercury goes direct, I would recommend just holding fire just a little bit, just to really ensure you're putting those ideas into fertile ground, so to speak, and that they're going to be received in a way that is really beneficial for you in the long term. Then on the 20th of August, the full moon will be happening in your Leo first house and Aquarius seventh house. So there's a lot of Pluto energy around this full moon for everyone. So Pluto is currently in your seventh house. It's likely either conjoining or about to conjoin or will conjoin later on your descendant and opposing your ascendant. So this full moon is going to feel quite personal. Maybe some relationships or client work or old work that no longer aligns with you anymore is going to come to the surface. There's maybe some unexpected sort of news or insights or things that might happen that will feel quite personal. There's going to be a lot of challenging energy around the time of this full moon. Uranus is in your 10th house. There's some unexpected things happening to do with your career, to do with your public reputation. Things are shifting and changing for you and will likely be really coming to a head around the time of this full moon. Then on the 23rd of August, the sun will move into your Virgo second house. So really emphasizing putting into place those value systems, really focusing and honing in your finances. Are your finances really up to where you want them to be? And how can you align yourself with this feeling more inspired to maybe call in new finances or call in new streams of income in some way? Then on the 29th of August, Mercury will finally station direct. So this is a great opportunity to start slowly putting those ideas and plans into motion. Slowly start stepping into that version of yourself that you've been really working on and really uncovering, especially now with Pluto in your seventh house, really uncovering that part of yourself that you need to balance the need for being in partnership and also who you are. So balancing that integration of energy and putting that out into the world. So there's a lot of things are likely coming up for you that you're really starting to want to step into that phase of your life. Then on the 30th of August, Venus will move into your Libra third house, which is a lovely energy for communicating and expressing yourself. Again, a nice energy for putting those new ideas and plans out into the world. If you want to take on any study or learn some new things or do some local travel, meet some people locally, this is a lovely energy for that. So let's see what the oracle cards have in store for you, Leo rising. The moon, the soul, which is a lovely energy for you, being that you are ruled by the sun. This is the other luminary. So the moon, looking at your subconscious and your emotional world, where is the moon in your chart? What is going to be emphasized for you with these transits of the moon? Having a look where the moon is in your birth chart is a really beneficial thing to sort of understand. I will be releasing a video about all about the moon and the phases of the moon in the birth chart. So if you're not too sure what yours means, that will be likely a really good video for you to watch. So have a look at where the moon is in your chart. Obviously, the new moon is going to be happening in your first house, and then the full moon is going to be happening in your seventh house. So again, a really important and emphasized moon phases for you this month, Leo rising, especially with being on your descendant and ascendant and being in your first and seventh houses. They're very personal houses, and being that you are ruled by the sun, very much important moon phases for you this month. So have a look at where your personal moon is in your chart and sort of understanding that the moon is going to be an important planet or luminary for you this month ahead, and that there's going to be a lot of insights and downloads to do with your sense of self and to do with your relationships this month. So all up, again, Leo rising this month for you is going to be, again, focus on yourself, your partnerships, your one-to-one contractual agreements. Your finances is going to be a big part and a big focus for you this month, your value systems, and then also how you communicate and express yourself in any local travel that you might be interested in towards the end of the month. So for Virgo and Virgo rising, this month of August will be a big focus around your 12th, first and second houses. There's going to be something that needs to come to an end and come to a close, or needs to be worked on in private around the time of the Leo new moon on the 4th of August. Maybe you are wanting to retreat and have some reprieve and really close some parts of your life off that are no longer working for you, no longer serving you. Maybe you're wanting to dive into your spirituality a bit more. Maybe you're wanting to really connect connect with this creative side of yourself more. And that could be something that you want to plant those seeds of intuition around the time of the new moon on the 4th of August. Then on the 5th of August, Venus will move into your first house, which is a wonderful transit for you feeling magnetic, feeling seen, and really investing in what lights you up, really investing in your aesthetic, maybe wanting to change your hair or your makeup or the way that you dress, things that make you feel good, really investing in yourself, investing in your appearance, investing in just things that light you up, really decluttering or reorganizing things to make you feel like you're more aligned with the best version that you can be and showing up in the best way that you can, which will help align you with your values and maybe even open some new streams of income or new doors that will bring on more finances or more money your way. So this could be something of interest for you around the time of the 5th when Venus does move into your first house. On the 5th, Mercury will also station retrograde in your first house of self. So being your chart ruler, you likely feel this energy quite predominantly and quite strongly. So there could be a real need to, like I was saying with Venus in your first house, reassess how you are dressing, reassess your appearance, reassess your aesthetic, your vibe. Is something needing to change, shift, come to an end? You're no longer this version of yourself anymore. You're ready to step into that next new phase of your life, step into that next new version of yourself. Where are you needing to maybe spend more time, money, and energy in investing in yourself in some way? Then on the 15th of August, Mercury will regress back into your Leo 12th house. So there's something that is coming to a close to do with yourself, to do with your how you appear, how you put yourself out there. Like it's saying, you're really revisiting how you're appearing, your physical essence, your vibe. What is something that's changing and shifting here? Maybe you're needing to just retreat for a little while and just really do some shadow work or some inner work that will really help you step into this new version of yourself that you're wanting to be. Then on the 19th of August, Mercury will conjoin the Sun in your Leo 12th house. So there could be some intuitive downloads, some really prophetic dreams that might be coming up for you around this time. So pay attention to these downloads or these insights that you're having come up for you, and how can you apply them to your life, and how can you really embody this energy? What is this intuition or intuitive spark that is coming up for you around the 19th, and how can you apply this to your life that will really help you in a really beneficial way and step into this creative aspect of yourself? Then on the 20th of August, there will be a full moon happening in your 12th house and in your 6th house. So there's something to do with your health and well-being, something to do with you maybe needing to step away or let go or really invest time and energy into healing some sort of part of yourself. Potentially some work or work colleagues or a workplace is shifting and changing and purging in some way that's maybe needing to happen in order to allow space or create time and energy for you to focus on other parts of your life. Maybe you're needing to clean up or clear up your daily routine, or that will help then assist your health and well-being. Something is coming up for you. There's some unexpected maybe news or opportunities, or just something to do with either higher study, law, or international travel. Something is coming up that is maybe a bit triggering, a bit challenging, that you're needing to overcome, that you're needing to work through. There's a lot of challenging energy around the time of this full moon, so just keep this in mind around the time of the full moon, and it will pass and mitigate towards the end of the month. Then on the 23rd of August, the Sun will move into your first house of self. So this will be a lovely energy to really put those ideas or plans or insights into action, into play, really step into and embody this new energy that you're wanting to call in or be in your life. You're really focusing. It's like all attention is on you right now. And I know that's not something you really love, Virgo rising, but this is an energy that is emphasized around the 23rd and into next month. There is going to be a focus on yourself, your sense of self, and who you are, really embodying this confident creative energy that you're wanting to call in. Then on the 29th of August, Mercury will station direct in your Leo 12th house. A great energy for really putting those actions and ideas into play, moving forward. Energy is moving forward. You're likely really feeling this on a personal level, so you're feeling like you're able to finally move and finally breathe. Then on the 30th, Venus will move into your Libra second house. A lovely energy for looking at your finances and really calling in new streams of income, or really just investing in your value system, clearing up or just letting go of any old things that maybe feel like you're holding you back, maybe selling or moving on, or letting go of objects or possessions that you've been holding on to that you're like, I'm ready to to let this go and create space for new things to come into my life. This is especially true because Venus will be conjoining the South Node in your second house. So this is a nice energy to let go of any sort of financial burdens that might have been holding you back, to really create space and lighten up things for you going forward. So let's have a look at what the Oracle cards have in store for you, Virgo rising. Saturn return. So it might not necessarily be that you are going through a Saturn return, but if you are, you have your Saturn in Pisces, and it will be returning to Saturn in Pisces. So the Saturn return is a time of really like stepping up into a next phase of your life. I think this is important because Saturn is going to be opposing your ascendant, or has opposed your ascendant, and is conjoining your descendant, or has conjoined your descendant. And if you have your Saturn in Pisces, you're like, it's like a double dose. Saturn in Pisces is really personal for you because it is opposing your ascendant in some way, shape, or form. So it's really restructuring this energy to do with yourself, really restructuring your physical self, who you are. Like I was saying, you're really sort of stepping into this new phase of life for you, Virgo rising. So have a look at where your personal Saturn is in your chart. Are you going through your Saturn return? Have you just been through your Saturn return? Are you going through an important Saturn like opposition or square or sextile? Something might be coming up for you that is really positively, but also challenging. Saturn isn't the most easiest planet to work with, and it is retrograde currently. So there might be a lot of internal work or internal shifting and changing that you're needing to do in order to step into this next phase of life that you're moving into. So all up for you, Virgo rising, there'll be a big focus on your sense of self, maybe closing up or finishing up any old, outdated energy or sort of versions of yourself that you're ready to let go of. Something is coming to an end, and then focus on your finances towards the end of the month. Maybe letting go of some positions or things that you've been holding on to create space and create room for new things to come into your life. So for Libra and Libra rising, this energy of August will be happening throughout your 11th, 12th, and 1st houses. So towards the beginning of the month, there's going to be a big focus on your hopes, dreams, and wishes in your community and your online space and community space within your online communities, and also just with networking and things that light you up and bring you joy. There's going to be a big focus of this around the time of the new moon in Leo. So this is a wonderful new moon to tap into any new hopes, dreams, or wishes, or calling in new networking or friendships or communities that help you feel seen, heard, and understood. So this is a nice new moon to start manifesting that and plant the seeds of intuition to call more of that into your life. Then on the 5th of August, Mercury will station retrograde in your 12th house of Virgo. So there's something that's going to need to be revisited, ended, closed off. Maybe you're needing to tune into your intuition more. Maybe you're needing to sort of pull yourself back and sort of go behind the scenes a little bit to sort of work on any subconscious or limiting beliefs that might be holding you back. Then on the 15th of August, Mercury will move back into your Leo 11th house. So there's something that you're going to need to be revisiting to do with your community, to do with your hopes, dreams, and wishes. There's some work you're needing to be revisiting here that's needing to be re-looked at and reworked, or some new sort of hopes and dreams that maybe sort of starting to plant those seeds of intuition around. You're needing to do some research, to do some background checks, to do something here to revisit something to do with this area in your life. Maybe there's some friendships that are coming back up to the surface that maybe need to end, that might be holding you back from moving forward and stepping into this next phase in your life. Then on the 19th of August, Mercury will conjoin the Sun in your Leo 11th house. So this is again, pay attention to these insights and downloads that come through to you on the state that are likely to do with old friendships, old communities, or old hopes and dreams that are no longer working for you, no longer helping you and moving forward in your life, and maybe need to come to a close or come to an end in order to call in this new energy, to call in these new dreams or hopes that you've really been working on. So pay attention to what comes up around the 19th, because then on the 20th of August, there will be a full moon happening in your 11th house and in your 5th house. So there's something coming to the surface here that's coming to a close, coming to an end to do with your, again, hopes, dreams, and wishes. What lights you up creatively? What lights you up? What is like what dreams and hobbies that you might have? Maybe some relationships, if you've got a new romantic partnership, or you're seeing someone romantically, there's something that might be coming up here, maybe coming to a close, or a next phase. You're stepping into this next phase with them, or to do with your children. If you have children, maybe you're stepping into the next phase of life with them. Maybe some things are changing and shifting. There's likely something unexpected, an unexpected roadblock or challenge coming up for you to do with your finances, other people's money around the time of this full moon. So pay attention to this energy. What is coming up for you? What challenges are coming up? This is a challenging full moon. There could be some challenges to do with local travel, to do with international travel, to do with higher law study. There's something that maybe you need to separate yourself from that could be quite intense around the time of this full moon. Again, it's going to be a very intense full moon energy. So just understand that it will sort of mitigate and come to a bit of an ease towards the end of the month, but around the 20th and until the end of the month, it's going to be quite prominent. Then on the 23rd of August, the sun will move into your Virgo 12th house. So this could be pushing you to go behind the scenes a bit more, to retreat, to all this maybe energy that's come up to the surface, or these challenges that have come up around the time of this full moon that you're needing to maybe sort of take yourself away from the situations and maybe to just regress a little bit, move back and just be in your own space to process these challenges, to process these next steps that you need to take to move forward. Then on the 29th of August, Mercury will finally station direct in your Leo 11th house. So this is a nice energy to sort of put those plans into action, start taking those steps that you need to take to really achieve those goals and new dreams that you've realized are important to you, or start closing off or removing yourself from situations that are no longer inspiring you and are keeping you stuck. Then on the 30th of August, a Venus will move into your first house of self. This is a wonderful energy to really invest in your appearance, change something about yourself, let go of something that's no longer feeling good anymore, because Venus will conjoin the South Node in your first house. So there's something here that you're like, I'm done with that part of myself. I'm done with how I look. I want to change or shift up my appearance, my hair, my clothes, my aesthetic in some way. There's something that's you're wanting to change and shift, and this is a wonderful energy to do so, a lovely energy to invest in yourself and to really be okay and at peace with letting go of that part of yourself that is no longer working anymore. So let's have a look at what the oracle cards have in store for you, Libra and Libra rising. Second house owning. So your second house, which is ruled by Scorpio, ruled by Mars traditionally, and Pluto, modern ruler. So looking at your second house of Scorpio with Pluto in your Aquarius fifth house right now, and Mars in your Gemini ninth house right now. So there's this energy between both of them forming a trine. So maybe you're ready to purge something that you're not being lit up by anymore, that you're ready to really heal this part of your life that's something that's holding you back or keeping you stuck. You're finally ready to just move on from that. There's an intense energy happening with Mars right now in your Gemini ninth house. So maybe there's something quite explosive that's coming up for you that's been sort of coming up and being, oh, this is interesting energy, because it will trine your ascendant in some way at some point. So maybe this is feeling quite intensified. Maybe going overseas or something to do with overseas travel is going to feel quite personal. And maybe your plans are shifting and changing to do with that. But there's something that's coming up around your finances, how you can invest, how you can sort of put your finances to good use. Maybe you're ready to put your finances to good use in terms of traveling. Maybe you're ready to finally take that leap and that jump. Maybe it's to do with your work. Maybe you're ready to really put yourself out there and call in work opportunities that really light you up. So all up for you, Libra rising. This is a month focusing on going behind the scenes, retreating when need to, working on your hopes, dreams, and wishes, and removing yourself from situations or friendships that might be holding you back, and then investing in your physical self and yourself towards the end of the month. So for Scorpio and Scorpio rising, this energy of August will be happening throughout your 10th, 11th, and 12th houses. So at the beginning of the month, your public career, public reputation, and your work and how others perceive you in the public space will be of importance for you. This is a wonderful new moon happening on the 4th of August to really plant the seeds of intuition, to call in any new work opportunities, to call in your opportunities to put yourself out there and really get those creative juices flowing. The new projects that you're really wanting or inspired to take action on, or to start working towards, really putting that creative energy of yours out into the world and really embarking on a new venture, this is a wonderful new moon to start planting those seeds of intuition and start planning or forming ideas around. Then on the 5th of August, Venus will move into your Virgo 11th house. So a lovely opportunity to clean up and declutter maybe some old friendship groups or connections or relationships, or even to do with hopes, dreams, and wishes. Where are you maybe needing to declutter, needing to clean up, needing to revisit or rework this area in your life? Because also on the 5th of August, Mercury will station retrograde. So Mercury will be retrograding back into your 10th house, but while it is in your 11th house, this is a nice opportunity to really revisit any friendships or connections or online circles, maybe cleaning up your social media or cleaning up your social space in some way that can allow you to create space and room for new connections and new friendships to come through that maybe will help you and assist you in putting those ideas or projects out into the world that you're wanting to call in. Maybe these new connections will allow you and help boost you up in some way that will allow you to achieve these goals or these new dreams that you're wanting to put out into the world. Because then on the 15th of August, Mercury will regress back into your Leo 10th house. So there's some thing that's needing to be revisited to do with your career, to do with your public achievements and how the public perceive you in some way. Maybe there's old projects or old work opportunities that are no longer aligned with you and no longer you're not feeling creatively inspired about them anymore. Maybe it's time to close those off or finish those up in some way, because then on the 19th of August, Mercury will conjoin the Sun in forming a cazimi. So there could be some interesting downloads or intuition or intuitive energy around this time for you to pay attention to ensure that you're taking on projects that feel aligned with you, that help you feel creatively inspired, and are really taking you in the right direction that you're wanting to be going. On the 20th of August, there will be a full moon happening in your 10th and 4th houses, encouraging you to find balance between your home life, your family life, and the work that you put out into the world. Something is maybe coming to a close if you've been working on any home renovations, or if you've had anything coming up to do with your family in your work. This could be coming to a head around this time. There's maybe some unexpected or erratic energy happening to do with your partnerships, your one-to-one contractual agreements, or if you're married, your marriage. Something is maybe coming up to the surface around the full moon that needs your attention and could feel quite challenging. There's also some challenging energy happening around your finances and shared income. So something is coming up here that could feel quite explosive or quite erratic and just quite intense. So just know that this full moon is going to be an intense one, but it will start to calm down towards the end of the month. Then on the 23rd of August, the Sun will move into your Virgo 11th house, really kicking into action that creative energy and spark around your friendships, your connections. So any of that planning or ideas that you start to bubble to the surface with Mercury stationing retrograde here and Venus moving into your 11th house could be really a focus for you around the 23rd and onwards, with the Sun transiting your 11th house of friendships and connections. Then on the 29th of August, Mercury will station direct in your Leo 10th house. So this is a wonderful energy for finally moving forward with those plans and ideas, finally starting to put those into action, put those into play, with Mercury now moving out of its shadow period. Then on the 30th of August, Venus will move into your Virgo 12th house. So this is an energy of endings. So there could be finally some endings to those relationships that could have been coming to the surface earlier in the month. Maybe you're ready to finally step away from them, or just retreat and really pay attention to your subconscious or your intuition. This is a healing energy towards any health issues that you might have. So if you've got any health problems, or if you're wanting to really invest in your spirituality or dive into your spirituality in some way, this is a nice energy for you. Venus is in her home sign. She's liking this energy. It will conjoin the South Node in Libra, so there will be needing of something to let go of in some way. And the 12th house is a house of ending. So I feel like there's some sort of relationship or partnership or contractual agreement that could be coming to a close for you around the end of the month. So let's have a look at what the oracle cards have in store for you, Scorpio rising. Earth element stability. Earth element stability. So there's a lot of earth energy happening in your 11th house of Virgo this month and then into next month. So pay attention if you've got any personal planets in Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. This could be a really nice energy for you, as this will form a trine to any of these, especially personal planets, you'll feel quite intensely. So have a look in your chart. Have you got Earth dominant? If you're not Earth dominant, this could be bringing in that grounding and stability energy for you this month and into next month. So all up for you, Scorpio rising, there'll be a huge focus on your career, public reputation, and putting yourself out there in some way, revisiting some old goals and maybe planting the seeds of intuition towards new goals. There'll be some maybe letting go or ending up of friendships, relationships, or contractual agreements in some kind, and really paying attention to your intuition and spiritual downloads around the end of the month. So for Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising, this energy of August will be happening throughout your 9th, 10th, and 11th houses. At the beginning of the month, there's going to be a focus around your international travel, higher law or higher study, or connecting with people from a foreign culture will likely be of top of mind or of interest for you around the time of the new moon. Maybe you're wanting to call in new travel opportunities, or maybe you're wanting to take on a higher study of some kind. This is a wonderful new moon to start planting those seeds of intuition, to start calling those opportunities into your life, to really tap into your creativity and really connect with people that really light you up on a creative and inspirational level. Then on the 5th of August, Venus will move into your Virgo 10th house. So this is a nice opportunity to look at declutterizing, organizing, or diving into the details of any projects or public things that you've been working on. This is a nice energy for your career. If you're wanting to call in new work opportunities or new visibility to the work that you've been doing, this is a nice transit for you. It's a really practical, grounded, down-to-earth transit. So really getting to the nitty-gritty details of things that you've been working on is a wonderful energy to use this transit for. Then on the 5th, Mercury will also station retrograde. So again, a wonderful opportunity to revisit any old outdated projects or things you've been putting out there, to really clear up and clean out anything that's no longer working, or really start thinking about how you want to put new things or new ideas out into the world, because it will station retrograde also in your 10th house of Virgo. Then on the 15th of August, Mercury will regress back into your Leo and 9th house. So there could be some re-looking at any old travel, any new travel that you've got coming up, any study that you've been thinking about doing. Again, what was coming up for you around the time of the new moon, this will be revisited and maybe really looked at, and how you can really get to the bottom of things or really heal things, or just really just like clear out the clutter. There's a lot of clearing out the clutter to do with your 9th and 10th houses this month. Then on the 19th of August, there will be a Mercury cazimi, which is the Mercury conjoining the sun in your Leo 9th house. So there could be some revisiting of travel. I feel like this is a very much a travel or international sort of working, or even to do with higher law. So something is coming up here that's really needing you to pay attention to the downloads or messages or insights that you have coming up for you around the 19th and into the 20th, where we do have the full moon happening in your 9th and 3rd houses. So be aware and concise about how you're communicating and expressing yourself, because there will be some unexpected things coming up to do with your health, work, and daily routines or co-workers around this full moon, and also to do with your connections, your one-to-one workings and your client work, or even if you're married, your marriage might be coming up. There's something coming up here that's challenging and you're not too sure how to communicate or express yourself around this time. Something is coming to an head, something is coming to a close, something you're ready to move on from and progress forward on, but it's not feeling good. It's feeling quite challenging. So just know that this challenging energy will pass. It is a challenging full moon, so this challenging energy will pass towards the end of the month. Then on the 23rd of August, the sun will move into your Virgo 10th house. And again, a lovely energy for putting your work out there, for really being seen and being appreciated for the hard work that you've been doing, for that healing services. If you're a healer, if you're putting healing work out there, this will likely have a lot of eyes on you. So just be conscious that whatever you're putting out there, to double, triple check any work you're putting out, especially with Mercury being retrograde in your 10th house and also your 9th house and moving back into your 10th house next month. So anything that you're putting out there, just be careful that you're double, triple checking it for anything, and it may not always be received in the way that you're putting it out there. So just be very cautious about how you proceed here. Then on the 29th of August, this Mercury will station direct in your Leo ninth house. So a nice energy to finally move forward and progress forward. Inputting work out there, you're not feeling like you're having to hold yourself back. You can finally start using this energy to propel you forward and put those plans and ideas into motion, especially if you're wanting to travel. Then on the 30th of August, Venus will move into your 11th house. Lovely energy for connecting with your friendships, your partnerships, your community in some way. Your hopes, dreams, and wishes are likely being reignited with this transit of Venus in your 11th house. Venus will conjoin the collective South Node, so there may be some old, outdated hopes, dreams, wishes, relationships, connections that need to be let go of in order to make room and space for those new energy, these new ideas, and these new dreams and visions that you likely have for yourself moving forward. Maybe you're just needing to distance yourself or let go in some way that's going to open up new for new creative and new interesting ideas and creative relationships that will really help propel you forward. So let's have a look at what the oracle cards have in store for you. So Taurus, I have this card jumped out. So Taurus rules your 6th house, which is where Uranus is, and Uranus is going to be a big player around the time of that full moon on the 20th of August. So if you have any personal placements in Taurus, this is going to feel quite personal, especially any of the inner planets. This is going to feel like a really personal, intense full moon for you. Any sort of transits towards any personal planets will feel intense, but I feel like pay attention to your 6th house, pay attention to your health, your daily routines, your co-workers. Just pay attention to this area in life for you, and just really pay attention to your health and well-being in general. Pay attention to your body, rest, and allow yourself to rest and process any of this energy that you're needing to revisit in order to be able to embody and really put yourself forward going into these next few weeks ahead. So all up for you, Sagittarius rising. It's going to be a month of focusing on your public reputation, your work, your career, putting yourself out there, maybe revisiting old goals or old projects that no longer feel aligned with you to do with your career. There could be some international travel or trips that you're wanting to call in or plan, and also some changing and shifting to do with your social circle, your hopes, dreams, and wishes towards the end of the month. So for Capricorn and Capricorn rising, this energy of August will be happening through your 8th, 9th, and 10th houses. At the beginning of the month, there's going to be a focus around your 8th house, your connection with other people's finances, money, streams of income, debt, inheritances, and your intimacy around your connection with your finances in general. So if you're wanting to call in any new streams of income, any new clients, any new work, or any just money in general your way, this is a wonderful new moon to plant those seeds of intuition and call in those opportunities for yourself. Then on the 5th of August, Venus will be moving into your Virgo 9th house. This is a lovely energy if you're wanting to plan any travel or revisit this area in your life, if you wanted to clean up any old plans, or if you want to take on any study, or if you've got any sort of things to do with the legal things that are coming up for you right now. This is a positive energy. So if you've got anything coming up that you're wanting to plan any trips or anything like that, this is a nice energy to really do some research, or really apply yourself to really look at things for a finer detail and really clean up any old plans or any old ideas or any old ways you may be communicating and expressing yourself, especially with Mercury stationing retrograde also on the 5th of August, really ushering you to clean up any clutter in your life to do with study, to do with travel, to do with sort of connecting with people from a foreign culture. There could be some things that are coming up for you to really just clean up in general what you're putting out there, what you're putting out into the world, these dreams, these wishes that you might have, these hopes that you might have. What are you putting out there that could be needing to just be revisited and cleaned up in some way? Mercury will then regress back into your Leo 8th house. So there could be a revisiting of sort of maybe any old streams of income, old connections with finances, or limiting beliefs around finances that could be holding you back from really stepping into this new phase or this new energy to do with your finances in some way. Then on the 19th of August, Mercury will conjoin the Sun and form a cazimi in your 8th house. So pay attention to any downloads, insights, or messages that could be coming through to you around this time, as this will likely hold a key of information to do with how you can maybe really emphasize or grow or change or shift or declutter your connection with finances in some way. Something's needing to be revisited here, needing to be cleaned up or cleaned out in order to really realign you with your finances and realign you with your value system, especially with Pluto in your second house right now, retrograde. There's this really regenerative and healing energy around your connection with your finances, around your value system and how you make your money. Then on the 20th of August, there will be a full moon happening in your 8th and 2nd houses. Again, really emphasizing this financial access for you. There's something that's coming to a head to do with your finances. Maybe there's some unexpected shifts and changes to do with your hobbies, your interests, your romantic partnerships, or with your children if you've got children. Something challenging is coming up around this time, maybe an unexpected bill or debt or something that's coming up that you're really needing to pay attention to. You're finally coming to the end with something. Something is coming up and being quite triggering, especially to do with your health, your work, your daily routines. Something is maybe being really emphasized and really coming to a head around the time of this full moon. This full moon is a challenging full moon, so just keep that in mind. It will start to sort of mitigate and sort of release and sort of feel a lot better towards the end of the month. But just at the time of this full moon, it will be quite triggering for you, especially with some really intense energy happening around this time. Then on the 23rd of August, the sun will move into your Virgo 9th house, emphasizing this need to travel or expand your mind or horizons in some way. Maybe you're feeling really lit up and ready to explore this area in your life. Maybe you're ready to dive into the details or really get clear on maybe investing in a trip of some sort or planning a trip or planning study in some way. Then on the 29th of August, Mercury will station direct in your Leo 8th house, really putting into place those lessons that we might have had around finances, debt, inheritances, or just your financial, your connection to your finances in some way. Maybe you're really ready to put those plans and budgets into place. Then on the 30th of August, Venus will move into your Libra 10th house. This is a wonderful energy for putting your work out there, for being recognized and appreciated for the work that you're doing, for the projects or public things that you've got out there right now, for maybe calling in some relationships or meeting people in quite a public manner. There will be an emphasis on letting go of maybe some work or projects that you've been working on that you feel no longer aligned with, that you're ready to really let those go and make space for these new projects or new ideas that you have coming through, because Venus will conjoin the South Node pretty early on in her transit through Libra. So there is something that is needed to be let go and moved on from around the end of this month. So let's have a look at what the Oracle cards have in store for you, Capricorn rising. That one jumped out. Grand Cross Provoker. So this is a sort of angle aspect that can happen in the chart. So the Grand Cross consists of T-squares forming a cross, which is a very challenging energy. So I do feel like this month is something of a challenge, especially around the time of this full moon. There's a lot of deep intensity happening with the sun and Mercury retrograde in your Leo 8th house, with the full moon on your financial axis. This could feel really challenging and really triggering, especially if you have any personal planets in Scorpio, in Aquarius, in Taurus, in Leo. This will maybe trigger or form a grand cross in your birth chart. So this is a very intense energy. Maybe you have this natally in your birth chart. So whatever challenges are coming up for you this month, this is a month to really use this energy to transform and transmute and really overcome this challenging energy in your life and really step into this next phase towards the end of the month and into next month, where you've overcome these challenges and you're ready to take these lessons and these trials and tribulations in a way and put them into action and put them into play in a really positive way. So all up for you, Capricorn rising. This is an energy in this month of August is going to be focused on your intimacy and connection with money, your finances in general, maybe some travel or higher study or planning, some international trips in some way, and then also maybe letting go or making space for new public projects or new career moves, shifts, and identities towards the end of the month. So Aquarius and Aquarius rising, this energy of August will be happening throughout your 7th, 8th, and 9th houses. The beginning of the month, there is going to be a focus on your one-to-one clients, contractual agreements. If you're married, your marriage is likely going to be a focus for you. So around the time of this new moon on the 4th of August, this is a wonderful new moon to call in. If you wanted to call in new work, new clients, new contracts, if you're wanting to call in maybe a new home space, that is also under that sort of contractual agreement. So if you're wanting to call in that energy in your life, this is a wonderful new moon to start planting those seeds of intention around that. Then on the 5th of August, Venus will move into your Virgo 8th house. This is a lovely energy to really pay attention to your connection with your finances, your financial streams of income. Where can you clean up or sort out any debt in your life that you need to pay back? Where can you make a plan, make a new budget, really refocus and recalibrate this area in your life? Because then on the 5th of August as well, Mercury will station retrograde in your 8th house of Virgo. So there is this focus of revisiting. There's this huge refocus whenever a Mercury stations retrograde, especially when it's in its home sign. So there's going to be a big focus on sort of getting to the bottom of what's really holding you back in terms of your connection with your finances. Are things really unclear, or are things really unorganized and really need decluttering and just stripping it back to basics in a way to do with your finances and how you make your money? What needs to be revisited here that will help set you up for success in the long term? Then on the 15th of August, Mercury will regress back into your 7th house. So there could be some old or previous contractual agreements or relationships that could pop up to the surface for you that you're like, hi, I need to revisit this. And this could be a new stream of income or a new client or a new work opportunity that you maybe thought you'd missed the boat on it. And maybe it's coming back up and you are ready to now revisit it. Just be cautious if you're signing any documentation around this time, just to double, triple check everything, read the fine print, maybe have a second set of eyes, look over everything. So just to be cautious around this month, signing anything important, because it could look quite different towards the end of the month once Mercury stations direct. Then on the 19th of August, Mercury will conjoin the Sun in your Leo 7th house. So pay attention to any downloads or insights or information that could come through to you that will be quite beneficial, to do with any contractual agreements, to do with any debt or inheritances. There could be something that's coming up around this time that's that missing piece of information that you're finally receiving. Then on the 20th of August, the full moon will be happening in your Leo 7th house and your Aquarius 1st house. So this full moon is likely going to feel quite personal. There could be some triggers coming up to do with your home and family life. There could be some triggers coming up to do with what brings you joy or lights you up. Something is needing to be shifted and changed here, some challenge that you're needing to overcome. You're likely feeling this again quite intensely because you also have Pluto in your 1st house. This is causing a lot of change and transformation to do with who you are on a very physical, fundamental level. So you are starting to revisit this and really look at this with Pluto now retrograde again in your 1st house. So this is again triggering this energy of really revisiting, healing, and moving on from any challenges that could be coming up to do with home and family, or also to do with what brings you joy and lights you up, and also to do with maybe any children if you've got children in your life, or romantic partnerships could also be triggering this energy. Then on the 23rd of August, the Sun will move into your Virgo 8th house, so really emphasizing this financial access for you. Have you started to put into place these plans and ideas? Have you started to look at or maybe start budgeting when Venus did move into your Virgo 8th house? What's coming up here? Because this is going to be highlighted again for you with the Sun moving into your Virgo 8th house on the 23rd of August. Then on the 29th of August, Mercury will station direct in your Leo 7th house. So this is a lovely opportunity to really put those plans into place. Things are likely feeling like they're moving forward again. You're not feeling so stagnant. You're starting to see those gears start moving again. Then on the 30th of August, Venus will move into your Libra 9th house. This is a nice energy if you're wanting to plan any trips, if you're wanting to do any study, maybe meeting relationships overseas or meeting people from a foreign culture. This is a lovely energy for that. Venus will conjoin the collective South node in your Libra 9th house. So there could be this energy of letting go of relationships or travel plans that no longer feel aligned for you anymore. So this could be an energy that maybe comes to the surface and is maybe you're ready to let go. You're finally ready to let go and move on from this, finally, for good. So let's have a look at what the Oracle cards have in store for you, Aquarius rising. Seventh house partner is what we were literally just discussing. So, looking at your seventh house of Leo is going to be a big focus this month. We already really went into in detail. If you have any personal planets in your seventh house, this again is going to be really emphasized for you this month ahead. So, all up for your Aquarius rising, again, a very big focus on your seventh house of partnerships, one-to-one contractual agreements. Really plant those seeds of intuition to do with calling in new client work, new work opportunities, new one-to-one work. There's going to be a focus on your connection with money, your finances, really cleaning up this area in your life to set you up for the long term. And then towards the end of the month, maybe letting go or changing or shifting of some travel plans or planning new plans or being open to meeting people from a foreign culture towards the end of the month and into next month. So for Pisces and Pisces rising, this energy of August will be happening throughout your 6th, 7th, and 8th houses. At the beginning of the month, this Leo new moon happening in your 6th house is a wonderful energy to start calling in and planting the seeds of intuition towards any new work opportunities, maybe forming a new daily routine that will really help you align with new energy, or calling it in, or really focusing on your health. If you've got any health goals or any new health regimes that you want to start trying, or really just focusing on healing your health in some way, this will be a wonderful new moon on the 4th of August to start planting those seeds of intuition. Then on the 5th of August, Venus will move into your Virgo 7th house. So this is a lovely energy for cleaning up any old contractual agreements, one-to-one working, or any areas, if you're married, any areas in your marriage that could need a little bit of restructuring, revisiting, cleaning up, or clearing up in any way. Paying attention, really diving into the details, or really just looking at things where you can pay more attention to, where you can sort of reorganize and reshuffle in some way. Also on the 5th of August, Mercury will be stationing retrograde in your 7th house, which is why I really emphasize this energy of restructuring, revisiting, clearing up any old client work, or any one-to-one working, or any contractual agreements that no longer feel aligned with you. This is a time to clean this up and maybe let this go, or just change this up in some way, because this will really push you forward and benefit you in the long term. Then on the 15th of August, Mercury will regress back into your Leo 6th house. So there'll be this energy of maybe revisiting any old health regimes, or if you've got any health issues, this could be bringing this back up to the surface to look at. Maybe you're looking at areas in your life that you're really not applying yourself in the best way. Where can you start cleaning up this area in life? Maybe you need to revisit your daily routines. Maybe they're not setting yourself up for success each day, or maybe you need to clean up your workspace. Just very generally need to clean up your workspace, make it feel more creatively inspiring in some way. This could really benefit you in terms to do with maybe calling in new clients, maybe having a space where you feel creatively inspired. You're going to feel more energetic, feel more magnetic, and attract more clients your way. Then on the 19th of August, Mercury will join the Sun and form a cazimi in your Leo 6th house. So again, there's this energy of paying attention to the intuitive downloads that could be coming through for you, paying attention to these insights and this knowledge that's coming through to you to do with your work, daily routines, your co-workers, your health. Maybe you're finally getting that insight that you need to this health ailment that you've been unsure about, and you're really ready and finally ready to heal this area in your life. Then on the 20th of August, the full moon will be happening in your 6th and 12th houses. So there's this need to balance this want to withdraw and retreat and just be in isolation, and really focusing on how that can also impact your health. How can you heal? How can you take time away to really look at what you need to let go of and look at what you need to focus on in terms that will help propel you forward? So Pluto is currently in your 12th house in retrograde, so really emphasizing this need to heal maybe some hidden or subconscious areas in your life, paying attention to what is coming up around this time. Do you need to spend more time focusing on this in your life? Do you need to spend more money, resources, time, and energy into healing some sort of area in your life that will affect you on a daily basis? Maybe you need to really revisit how you're spending your time, what's lighting you up, and maybe spending and investing more energy into this, or maybe spending more time alone and integrating that energy as well. Really intense energy happening around the time of this full moon. maybe possibly to do with how you communicate and express yourself, maybe to do with your home and family life. So just know that this energy will start to mitigate and start to become a lot more easier towards the end of the month. Then on the 23rd of August, the sun will move into your Virgo 7th house. So really emphasizing again this one-to-one contractual agreement, one-to-one client work, any new contracts, if you're wanting to call in new contracts to do with your home or a new sort of place that you want to live, a new lease or some sort of energy around that. That could be a wonderful energy with the sun moving into your 7th house. You've had a lot of retrograde energy to do with your Virgo 7th house, as well to do with your home and family life, because Mercury does also rule your 4th house. So there's this energy to do with, I really feel like there's this energy to do with maybe a new home. Maybe you're looking at sort of aligning yourself with a new space where you want to move to, where you want to go to, or just your family life in general. Something has been revisited and restructured and re-looked at this month, and is going to be really emphasized again with the sun moving into your 7th house on the 23rd of August. Then on the 29th of August, Mercury will station direct finally in your Leo 6th house. So all these ideas or things that have been flowing through to you, or just downloads, or just things you want to start putting into place, putting into action, are now starting to feel like you can finally move forward and finally take those positive steps and implement those new changes that you need to make in order to propel you forward and to create that space that you need to make the changes in a really positive way. Then on the 30th of August, Venus will move into your Libra 8th house. This is a wonderful energy for investing in your finances. Investing, if you're literally actually wanting to invest, this is a nice energy for that. But maybe you're ready to let go of debts, of finally ready to let go of some sort of connection that's been holding you back from really propelling you forward in your income streams in some way. Maybe you're ready to let go of an old income stream that's no longer benefiting you, in order to make space for something new that's coming through. So let's have a look at what the oracle cards have in store for you, Pisces and Pisces rising. Grand trine, blessings. So this is a really positive energy. Grand trine is like the most positive energy you can get in terms of an aspect in the birth chart. So maybe you have a grand trine, very lucky in your chart. Maybe you really want to tune into this energy. So a grand trine is also acknowledging the blessings that you have in your life, these blessings and this energy that comes naturally to you. If you have any prominent water or earth or fire placements, you could be feeling a nice trine energy this month. Or any air placements, you could feel this nice trine energy this month from Venus towards the end of the month. So pay attention to what trines are happening within your natal chart. If you have a natal grand trine, is this being activated in your birth chart? Or really just allowing yourself to appreciate the blessings that you have in your life, and that will in turn create space for even more blessings to come your way. So all up for you, Pisces and Pisces rising. This month is going to be focusing on paying attention to your health, any ailments that you might have, paying attention to your daily routines, cleaning up your daily routines if they're no longer making you feel creatively inspired anymore, paying attention to your work. Is there any work sort of contractual agreements or work contracts that no longer light you up or help you feel inspired? There's going to be a lot of revisiting to do with your contractual agreements, to do with if you're married, your marriage, to do with your home and family life in general. There's also going to be a positive energy happening around your finances and investments towards the end of the month.